Morning. I'm recording myself in this morning. As you know, I like to record myself at noon. That's my life pattern. But now I'm having a holiday visit to another city, so I don't have the time, I think, to record myself at noon. So I try to do this thing in the morning so I can have a video to upload. So this morning I want to talk about my ideology of learning a foreign language. English is a subject in China from a very young age. When I'm in middle school, I started to learn English, but I think the traditional teaching system is not so efficient. They just teach you word and they want you to see the word, to speak out the word after the teacher, and you need to do some tests to test yourself that if you master the vocabulary, and you seldom do speaking and listening exercise because at that time you don't have the machine, you don't have the device that you can use to listen, and you only have some radios, but the program in the videos are very complex, very difficult for you to do exercise. It's totally different from what we are doing nowadays. So English is a subject that I'm not very good at, and my score of that subject is usually very low. It's only past the minimum line to enter to university or graduate for my graduation. And when I graduated about 20 years ago, and I find that I really need to study English again. So about 10 years ago, I picked it up again, and I also don't know how to learn it. So I just continue the method I already know, that is to memorize words, and I find I spend a lot of time on it. About 1 year or two, I spend a lot of time, but I find it's very low efficient. Because it's very bad. Actually, it's a very bad method if you want to learn a foreign language. And then about 6 or 7 years ago, I owned my iPhone, the first iPhone I owned, and I find that the internet I knew is not the real internet, because as you know, most of applications are blocked in China, and many websites we can't get access to. So when I get my first iPhone, I'm very excited because I know that a big part of the internet is not. I'm not. I don't know a big part of the internet. Even some applications are blocked. There are still a lot of applications that I can download, I can use. Before that, I use an Android cell phone, which is pretty bad, I think. So from that day on, I use an iPhone. I think that's a turn point of learning a foreign language, because I can get access to many different useful, helpful sources. Okay, that's a turn point of my life. And from that day on, I try to use some applications that is blocked, that are blocked. So I try to figure out how to get access to them. So I find some way to get around of the firewall, and then I found Google. Okay, that's a big point. That's a big thing for me. Before that, I even don't know how to use Google. That's pathetic. And then naturally, I find YouTube. I find it's very useful if you want to learn a foreign language, because it has a function that you can turn on the subtitle. It's very useful. For English learner, if you want to listen to some material, you will find that it's difficult for you if you don't have subtitles. It's very time consuming to have the paper script of the program. Is firstly, it's very long, and you need to, and you don't, and you can't find the word you are listening at the same time. So it's a big turn point for me when I get access to YouTube. I can turn on the I can turn on the subtitles, and even the subtitles are not so accurate, because it's auto-generated. And then I find some programs that have accurate subtitles. It's very helpful. Some documentaries, like the channel PBS and ANA. There are many good programs in those channels. I watched Survival and I think Alone. It's a scavenger program. It's a survival program, and I find it's very helpful. And then I watched Bob the Canadian. I find it's very helpful if you want to learn a foreign language. It's very the pronunciation is very clear, and they want you to understand. That's very important. and about 1 year ago, I find that I can understand some English teaching program, but that's the only programs that I can understand without subtitles. And at some point, I find it's very frustrating that I can't understand most of the very good programs without subtitles, and I find that I can understand them with subtitles. I can understand most of the movies, TV shows, most of them with subtitles, but without subtitles, I can only understand very few English teaching channels. It's very frustrating, and at some point, I think the only way to be fluent and to really understand English is to live abroad. So I quit for a while, and then I picked up About half a year, more than half a year ago, I decided to start again. I only I purely listening. I purely listen. I only listen. Yes, without subtitles. I only listen to Bob the Canadian, the only one channel that I can understand without subtitles. But and my mindset changed a little bit because I realized that I'm a foreigner, I'm an English learner, and it is difficult for a learner to learn a foreign language without substances, without without circumstances, and I make a mindset. So about more than half a year ago, I decided that I only stay in my comfort zone. I only listen to Bob the Canadian and without subtitles. That's okay. That's the only channel that I can understand without subtitles. And after 1 month or two, I find that I can understand some other channels as well. It's very surprising and exciting because I know that I can listen to other channels, and I find that more and more channels that I can understand. Okay, it's very exciting because for these so many years that I can't understand what I want to understand, and now I find I can understand many of them. So I think I'm on the right way of learning a foreign language. And about 2 months ago, I find pure listening is not so efficient. I need to speak a little bit. So I try to fit the speak things into my everyday life pattern. So I tried to start a channel to record myself when I'm doing the exercise. So that's why I'm here. That's why you're watching my video. So this is the whole process, the whole journey of my English learning. To wrap it up, I can get the conclusion like this. First, never try to memorize words, and then try to have some vocabulary if you can, by reading, by the context, and then listen a lot, and after that try to speak a little bit. Okay, that's my method. I think that's perfect for myself, and but I already know, I also know that every person has his own interest and every person has his own method to learn a foreign language. Okay, that's what I want to share with you today, and let's meet tomorrow. Okay, bye.